Good evening. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to start getting on our way here. Okay, there's a few things that I wanted to, I guess, establish. First, I just want to tell you personally, I had a great time last time. It's a little awkward because I'm literally talking to myself for 2 hours straight. So I appreciate the good evening. Thank you. And it's a little bit, for me to get used to this dynamic. And I wanted to also say thank you so much for all the feedback, great feedback, positive, negative, neutral. I love the feedback. We need the feedback so that we could keep making this better, make sure that I'm on point with the attendees, make sure that I'm giving you information that adds value to you, that I'm explaining it clearly, and that it's engaging and that it's fun. Because I don't like teaching anything unless I enjoyed myself. So I look forward to this. As far as the little dynamic here, okay. So I think we made the message here because it was a little confusing back and forth during the first time that we started this. Let me turn off screen share. Oh, I guess it's me. All right, I thought I was sharing the screen. Let me go ahead and share it so you could see it. Okay, 1 second. Here we go. Okay. New share. Why isn't it letting me share? For some reason, it's not letting me share. Oh, because it is shared. I'm sorry. I'm confusing myself. So there's two things that I wanted to just clarify moving forward, just so that we could get into a rhythm. I got some great feedback as far as the rhythm. People asking questions throughout the course and throughout the activities. So number one, we have 2 boxes here of engagement. We have the Zoom webinar chat, and we have the question and answer box. So what we're going to do here is, as far as your communication with me, if you have questions that are specifically for me, directed to me, you want me to address, please put them in the Q&A box, the question and answer box. That way, when we have either a break in between activities or at the end, I could go through them and address each one individually. Either I'll answer it live or I'll just type the answer back to you. As far as just engagement amongst the attendees, because I saw, throughout the last webinar, people are having a trouble, whether it's, closing out or maybe finding a certain function. Other people could chime in over there and just help with a little more collaboration as far as the attendees are concerned. So I hope that will just create a much better structure for the way we run this class. And if it works, then we'll just continue it this way so that I could focus on moving forward. And the attendees, if you have any questions that your fellow attendees could address, by all means, you could help them out in the Zoom webinar chat. I asked Shua to send you a few documents in preparation for this class. My hope is, my plan is to at least get through the research paper. I hope it's going to be engaging. I think I enjoy doing it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of interesting to learn what Word can do and know what's available out there. If we do finish that with time, we could go ahead with the next session, which is a little more exciting, a little more colorful with the banner page and creating headers. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go get started. I know Shua said he was gonna pop in just to say hello to everybody, but I think we're at full house here, 89 participants. It's just, sorry, just a little different to imagine that there's 89 people right now listening, but each one of you is looking at it individually. So, okay, let's begin. So, one second here. Okay, so today, what we will be doing, let me open up my document here. We'll open up a new document. File. Okay, so back to Word. What we're going to do today is create a, I'll call it a research paper, but one more than that, it is going to be like a reference paper, and I'm going to narrate it like I'm creating a business, a business document that I'm going to make that I'm going to present, and I want to make sure it looks professional, and I want to make sure that it has my name on it so people know who put it together. It's going to have, you know, a glossary, a table of contents, a cover page. These are all pretty, you know, important things to know how to do when creating a document, making sure it looks professional and gets people's attention and helps you clearly articulate the message or the research that you are putting together. So we're going to start off like we always do. We go to the menu option and we click on New. And when that new button comes up, I have the blank document, and we'll open up the blank document. There we go. Okay, so we got this blank document here. I hope everyone could see fine. I did actually take a peek at the recording from Monday, and I mean, it looked fine. I do have a big screen, but I'll make sure to zoom in a little more so it's just easier for everyone to see. Okay, so I'm writing a document. There's a few things that I wanted to take care of. So first I want to start my name. Just give me a second here. All right. Oh, thank you. I forgot. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Done. Okay. So here we go. I got this blank page. So first and foremost, standard way to start. Let's say it's one of the recommendations is a let's say you're doing it for a class, so you'll write the teacher's name. So the name they give is the actually student's name that they give is Nina Yazi. And the teacher is Mr. Slobovnik. Okay, this is English 101. And I'm not doing too well with the spelling today, and apparently this is going to be written in a few months from now. Okay, October 6th, 2021. Okay, so again, that's pretty straightforward. I'm selecting text, I'm typing. When I'm entering, I know the formatting is a little annoying. I guess we'll come in and out of it. So there we have it. It's pretty straightforward. There's a few things to know and to take note of when you're setting up a document. There's the layout. You have the margins here. And the margins is how far away the text will be printed from the edge of the paper. So the standard most accepted margin is normal. So it's 1 inch from each top, bottom, right, left. That's how far away it is. That's the standard margin. sometimes I personally will use like a narrow margin because I'll put together a document and it just makes it's just like one line on the next page, and I don't want it to move to 2 pages. So I'll just do a narrow margin. So it looks a little wider on the page, but it fits. So that's just a little trick that I do when I'm run out of space on one page and only want one page. Again, you have the orientation, portrait or landscape. Landscape is sideways in English. You got the size of the page. We're going to keep it 8.5 by 11 standard, but as you can see, all these options. If you like printing pictures, I have a Canon printer as well. You could print pictures. And here's columns. We're not going to use those, but that automatically will create columns in your page. So we have here also the page, if you notice here also, the space in which when I press enter, there's a certain amount of space in between the first line and the second line. So this, if I want to check what that spacing is, I'll just highlight it and I could go to styles. I'm looking for there we go. There we go. I want to go to paragraph. Oh, Shua, is that you?
Yes. Could you let me have the video for 1 minute?
Absolutely. What do I got to do? I got to...
Just make me a co-host or a host.
Hold on. I'll have to go back to the Zoom page.
No, just go to the participants. You see where it says participants?
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Okay. Wait, 1 second. Where is it? Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
You look by my name where it says more, just says make host.
Oh, sorry. I was clicking the wrong one. Sorry. More, all yours. All right, you're up.
Okay. Hi. Good evening, everybody. Sorry to interrupt so rudely. I'll be 1 minute of your time, and then I'm completely out. Again, welcome everybody back to the course. I just want to reemphasize that we've been so flooded with inquiries to this course that we've really been having a difficult time responding to everybody in a timely manner. So again, I'm apologizing for those of you that are having a hard time. Here's the latest issue that came up is as follows. We've been sending out emails now. Hopefully all of you that have registered have gotten emails from us, confirming the class and all the different information. We've been sending the course support material. We have emails that you supply when you register. I've been getting emails throughout the day. I haven't gotten. I don't know what to say. If you gave us an email address, we're sending to that email address. If there's any one of you here that's listening that didn't get an email from us today confirming the class, email me sometime tonight. You have the email, workforce@jccgci.org, and we will be in touch with you to update your email that we have in the system. Maybe there was a typo. Again, we've just been using what was supplied to us during the registration process. So that's my one comment. And again, for many of you should have gotten an email today. Like I mentioned, we're a job placement program. We like to help people in the 5 boroughs to get jobs. We sent out an email today with a list of open positions that we have available. If you got that email, you click on the link to it. It takes you to a web page that shows the positions. And we have 2 job developers. If you see any positions that you're interested in, email them directly, and we'll see if we could somehow hook you up with the job. So again, nice to meet all of you. We're here to be an assistant, to help you on your career aspirations, resume writing, interview prep, career assessment, and of course these courses and job placement. So reach out to us anytime. I'll sporadically be popping in from time to time. Please also bear with us. We thought we were going to have 30, 40 students. We have over 100 students that are part of this class. So this just come up logistical issues that we couldn't have ever foreseen. So bear with us. I hope you enjoy. You're in the hands of a wonderful instructor. And take care, everybody. Moish, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Shua. You made me host again? Okay, I'm good to go. Okay, so I see there's a lot of people have come on since I started. I just want to, I guess, reiterate. Thanks for a few of that reinforcement. So we have 2 ways of communicating. We have the Zoom webinar chat, and we have the question and answer page. So what I ask, as far as communicating with attendees, please use the Zoom webinar chat. But the questions I'm going to monitor are the ones that are going into question and answer, so that I could keep track and answer accordingly, so I don't also lose track of where I'm at, and you'll know that your question will be answered. And I know where to look, and that the attendees, you guys could keep busy on the chat. Okay, and yes, thank you for reminding me. Let me show you a rough draft of what we plan to do. Let me show you this. Okay, so this is what we plan to do. Okay, so we're gonna have we're gonna create a title page. We're gonna have a bunch of language. I was just having fun. It's gonna be a lot more organized when we do it, but this is the idea. We'll have the table of contents. We'll have some references. We'll have some bullet points at the bottom, page numbers. I'll show you how to make a signature, how to leave at the bottom, and how to save and put titles at top. So the goal here really is to be able to walk away and feel confident that you'll be able to put together a nice professional looking document, whether you have references or resources that you're referring to, or just a nice document that has a nice title page, has page numbers, looks professional, and you feel confident sharing that with anyone. So that's what we are looking at to accomplish here. So let me go back to our page here. Okay. So I just wanted to get into things before so yeah, I did scroll through that pretty quickly, but okay, I'll show you one more. As I'm getting used to this, I appreciate the feedback. I want you to stay engaged over here, so I'll just zoom out. You have a title page. You got a bunch of language here. Table of contents that should be in the front. We got references. We got page breaks. We got the bottom page. We got some footnotes here. Page numbers on top. So just really busy. But once you know how to do all these things, then you could create a nice looking document. So let me go ahead and new share. Bring you right back to our blank document. Okay, and off we are. So I did get some good feedback as far as the text. So that was actually very helpful, because sometimes if I'm going to write a lot, or just in order that people could keep up with me, or you could just copy and paste, it'll be much easier. So as you can see, I got very good at Latin text. So how you go to these documents, especially the samples, and they show a bunch of Latin. I always wonder, do they have someone who's like expert in Latin and they type it out, and that's all they do, that's their full-time job. So apparently there's a shortcut to populate a page with Latin. So I sent out it's just filler words, and I don't think it's available on all Word options, but I thought this was really cool. So watch this. So you go the equal sign, and you type LOREM, open parentheses. Now, this next letter is going to dictate how many paragraphs you want. So I'm going to do 3 paragraphs, comma, and I want it over, let's say, 14 lines. Now watch this. Boom. Magic. I just became an expert in Latin. Okay, and I did actually put this in Google Translate. Don't ask. Anyway, so here I go. I've started my document. I have 3 beautiful paragraphs. No idea what it's saying. And I am now going to set it up the proper format. So before any paragraph, you could always do a little tab. That's just the tab keyboard, indent a little bit there. And there's also different ways that you could format or shape your paragraphs themselves. So if you go to, sorry, home. Okay, so if you notice here, we have the paragraph. So there's different ways of alignment. So you have the line left, you have a line centered, you have a line to the right, and then you have actually boxed. Sometimes for those who like it really even and square, there you have the boxed version. Otherwise, you just do it standard. It goes, excuse me, left to right. And that's English language, and you will have that format there. Okay, so I'm writing this document, and okay, so I'll type it out on the screen for you to see. But so it's equal, LOREM, parentheses. The first letter that you do is the representative of how many paragraphs you want, and the second, the first number and the second number is how many lines you want that to be populated. So I'm just going to put a paragraph, just another closing parentheses there, so it's not going to populate, but you just do open and close parentheses, press enter. I tried it on the online version and it didn't work, but you could do it here in this, in regular Word, it should populate. And I think also what's nice about it is that it gives you context, so you don't, if you just do type on the keyboard, it's not spaced right. You have the red lines because nothing's typed right. This gives you a nice background without working hard. Okay, so I got my document. I've already established who I am, the teacher's name, the date, and now I have my paragraph. Okay, so now we're just going to go through, I'm just going to go through a bunch of different functions and actions, and just bear with me. This is just really just, I guess, exposing you to what you can do with Microsoft Word. So for starters, if you highlight everything and you go to paragraph, okay, so we have the paragraph box here, okay? So you have different controls on how you format with indents and spacing. Now, the most popular one that is used is the line spacing. So this can be unique because there are some, I guess, rules that require, or some type of documents that require a certain type of formatting. So a popular one is 1.5 lines. So in school or in university, there are sometimes standard ways of writing documents. So this is where you control that line spacing. So if you do 1.5, it takes up more space. And again, you just right click, which brings you to the pop-up. But again, you could always just go back to your home and go to the paragraph here. Where is it even? Oh, I don't even see it here. Oh, here we go. Here's the quick spacing. You could see right away, it gives you the live view. So you got the single spacing, the 1.15, 1.5, 2, 2.53. So we're going to keep it at the 1.5 and leave it at that. Okay, so now I have this document and I'm making a few references, and I mentioned in this line right here that I want to make a note about it. Okay, so sometimes you'll you will mention a okay, sorry, I thought I lost the screen share there. Okay, you will mention a footnote. I get many times I get a white paper and reading about technology, and they have all these one, and then you go to the bottom and it says reference and two reference, footnotes. It's really simple to do that. You pull, let's say you have your cursor right there on the page. You come up to insert. Sorry, forgive me. I sometimes get confused or what. There we go. Sorry, it's references. So I have to associate references with information outside of the document. That's where you find all these references and footnotes and extracurricular citations. So I will go to insert footnote. It's a button right here, or the shortcut is Alt-Control-F. So I'll just select that, and automatically it gives me a 1 and brings me to the bottom of the page. You see, I'm at the bottom of the page now. It's got a little line on top, and all right, this is in reference to the one on top. And that's it. And then I will go back to that reference, and I could continue going, and I say here, this, I want to reference another footnote here, and voila, it goes number 2, and this is the second time I am referencing. And there we have it. I'm misspelling, so it lets me know with a big red flag, red line. Okay, so now we got 2 references on this page. Now here's the thing. I'm done with this page. Now I want to get to the next page. Now sometimes it's really annoying because if I just go enter, which I could, let me go enter. So I got 3 spaces there. I'm now on the new page, right? Perfect. I'm on a new page. I'm going to do my magic. Sorry, let me scroll down so you can see it. I'm going to do my magic. This time I'm going to do 2 paragraphs, 10 lines, and there we have it, right? And I'm going to write 2 more paragraphs. So it's on the new page. Everything's good. But because I got these enters here, let's say I decide to delete, let me just highlight here and delete that. Did that work? Not yet. I have to delete a little more. How about this? I'll delete this whole line here. Oh, what happened? It just, sorry, I don't know if you saw that, but if you see, which by the way, view, okay, so if you go to view, and I realize this may be helpful for this session, you have view, you have multiple ways. So you could do a 1 page, which is what I did before, or you could do multiple page. So I have 2 side by side. Okay, so let me see if I could. Oh, there we go. Oh, now it's working. Okay. How's that? Is that better with the highlight? Oh, cool. Okay, perfect. Okay. So I have here now 2 pages. And what happened was I deleted a few lines here, and then this threw off my whole page. Now I have to go back here, and I have to now enter. Every time I make a change on page 1, it's going to take away from here. So let me show you a cool trick. So we will now go to layout. And we will click on break. And this is called a page break, okay? So when I click on this, my cursor is right here right now, okay? So I'm in the breaks, I press page break, and then automatically this now is telling the page that when it hits this point, it goes to the next page. So whatever I do on this page, and for that matter, whatever I do on this page, it's never going to impact the next page. So this is a great way to lock pages exactly the way you want it, whether it's maybe you have finally got the perfect format every word is on the right line, it looks exactly symmetrical, and it looks exactly the way you want it, you hit the page break at the bottom and you go to the next page. So this will always be locked in wherever you put that page break. And of course, you could always add more and more page breaks. I'm going to undo that in Control Z. Now, the easy way to delete a page break is just delete, and then it's gone. Now, if you remove the formatting buttons, that's why it's actually helpful to have the formatting buttons there. At least, you know, turn them on and off, because at least it gives you more visibility on what's actually happening on the page. So if that wasn't there, I wouldn't know that there's a page break. So I would get all confused. How come now every time I change here, it starts changing there? So this is always helpful. That's why the formatting tool is helpful, to just give you visually what's going on in the page and the formatting that's in place. Okay, so we got our page break, we got our references. Now, let's go to page 2. Oh, we have a page 2. How do I know it's page 2? Let's say I printed this out and I don't know, there's 10 pages on this document. I have no idea what's page 1, what's page 2. So let's put in some page numbers. And for the fun of it, I will add another page or so, thanks to 5 paragraphs at, let's say, 25 lines. Boom. Okay, so there, we got 3 pages going on here. And you notice actually that the formatting is different than here. So what I would do is highlight it and get there. We could just create a universal formatting, but here, this now made everything equal. But what I want to do is I want to go back to our insert. Oh, sorry, no, here, right here, this by the paragraph, just do 1.5, and that gets everything. So now everything is 1.5 times, and that brought us to 4 pages. Okay, so I'm gonna change the view. I'm gonna move it back to 1 page. Okay, I'll tell you what. We're gonna go for another 5 minutes, and then we're gonna take a break, and I'll address a few questions, and then we'll move on. People want to know how I do the highlight. That's actually a Zoom feature, FYI. I figured that out as we were working here. Okay, so I'm gonna just move back to 1 page for now. So I can see only 1 page at a time. Now, page numbers. So if I were to print this out, I would have no idea what's the first page, second page, third page. So this is fairly easy. You do is, I think for most versions, you just double click on the top of the page. That's the quick access to the header, and then you have the footer. That's quick access, header and footer at the bottom. I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit just so you can see it. So I have the header up here and the footer down here, and they're automatically defaulted at a certain width on top and bottom of the page. So if I double click anywhere else, it knocks me out of there. But let's say I wanted to go to, let's say I wanted to go to, where is it? I'm sorry. I get so used to the quick entries, you kind of forget where things are actually located. Where is it? I thought it was by insert, page break, color, cover page. Here we go. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Okay, so by insert, you have right here header, footer, and page number. Okay, so let's go to page number. Now, depending on if it's an official document, you probably have certain guidelines of where that page number should be, whether it's top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, centered. I personally, I like the, for this also, I like the top page. So we got page 1. It says page, and we got 1. Just FYI, you could always add, like, for example, if you like to have, you know, BSD, the top, that's also one easy way to add it to every single page without having to remind yourself or you forget. Just type it on the header, and there you have it for every single page. So if I go to, okay, so if I go to the next page, there we have it, page 2, BSD. Page 3, page 4. So there's also other things that I would probably want to do on the header. For example, let's say I want to, you know, this is a document and I want to make sure that they know I did this document. They have maybe a lot of documents on their table. So let's say I'll put the last name of this student, Yazi. So Yazi will be on top there, defaulted every time. So now if I just zoom out, there it's a little faded out just for you to know that it is part of the header. And if you just go to the next page, there you go, Yazi 2 BSD. Now we could get rid of the formatting also there. And there you have it, Yazi up top, 3 BSD, every single page like clockwork. Okay, I'm gonna take a little breather. I'm gonna look at a few questions here. And okay, let me just start up a little in the beginning here. Okay, so for the, so Minitsky Menachem, I hope, I think I showed it to you. Let me know if you need it again, as far as the lorem ipsum. Okay. Okay, I see people raising hands. Just if you can, just type in the Q&A and I will get to it. 1 second. Okay. All right. Okay, do you have to highlight paragraphs first? Well, it depends what you want to do, but when you highlight any paragraph or any word in the document, you're telling the system that it needs to focus on that part. If you don't highlight in anything and you just change the settings on their own, it will only do that change moving forward. So that's why it's important, if you have already text, then you want to highlight that, especially if you want to make that change. So here, I could change this, you know, let's say I want to change this to a different color, and then I'm going to keep typing. It's going to continue with that because that's where it left off. But if I were to start here typing, it's going to be black because it's just going to continue the previous formatting. That's why it's important to always make sure you're highlighting the section that you want to affect. Okay, how did you get the paragraph box? So there's a few ways. Usually, it should pop up right away. Here, it gives you the shortcut, and then if you right-click on the mouse, gives you a paragraph right here. That's where your paragraph options are, and it gives you that functionality, as well as by the home page, you have some quick actions. You have the bullets here, and here is where you could do quick line spacing with a live view, so you can see exactly what it looks like. And as you can see, the only text it's affecting is the highlighted text. Okay. So to put in a few spaces to make an indent, all it is the tab button. Tab is a standard indent that will move it automatically. I think it's 5 spaces. Not sure exactly how many spaces, but tab is your standard indent button. Okay, thank you for the suggestion. I looked it up and we got a red hot mouse. Oops, I think I just dismissed a question. How did you add the one or two in the paragraphs for reference? Oh, okay. So that is just, we'll go to, let's see, page 2, and we'll just go here. I'll click my mouse somewhere where I want to reference. You go to insert, insert up here. Sorry, not insert. I confuse myself because it's an insert, but it's referencing. So it's insert footnote. So you go to references, insert footnote, and then automatically where your cursor was, where is it? Got lost. But my cursor automatically sends me down. I'll zoom in there. You see it's a nice 3 over there. And I'll just write, this is a reference. And then double click back up top, and there you have your reference, and that's where the reference is. So someone knows, and if you notice, it continues the numbering. So I had two references here on page 1, and now I have a 3rd reference here. So it's a continuation throughout the document. Okay, to turn the formatting view on and off, you go to Home. Uh-oh, why is my computer? There we go. And this little button here, like an upside down music note, just click it. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you can see the effect. I'm gonna change the view also. I'll change it to multiple pages so you'll see more of an impact. And then I'll go back to Home, sorry. And there you have it. So press it, unpress. Okay, page break. Okay, let's do a page break right here. So I think this paragraph looks like a solid paragraph to finish off with. So I put my cursor right where I want the page break to happen. Wait for it. Hold on. Is it on the layout? Yes. So on the layout, page layout, you have the breaks option, and then you have different types of page breaks, but the page break you want is a page break right here. You click on that and automatically it moves on to the next page. And just so you can see it, there's your formatting, and you have now inserted a page break. Okay, we're gonna go on for another 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna continue. Okay, page numbers. Okay. Okay, so if you go to the insert page, you have a header, a footer, and page numbers. So a page number, you just click, and then right away, you could select where you want those page numbers to go. And for this one, I'll click on a different action. This one, I'll put it in the middle, and automatically, as you can see, it changes all the formatting. It redoes everything that was there beforehand. So you saw I had my name, I had the name, I had BSD over there. Now it's all gone, and now it has the new numbering pattern. And then when I double click away from it, it now goes back to the main document. Sorry, that was for page numbers. Okay, so to add a last name, all you do is double click on the header, and you could press enter and type. You could type whatever you want. Check this out. And there you go. So maybe that's a good attention grabber. So you put your name and then check this out. So everyone who looks at it like, oh man, I have to read that article. Okay, so I think I just took care of the header page number. Is there testing in this class? I'm not sure what you mean by testing, but like afterwards, maybe we'll take that offline, I guess, or maybe you could explain what you mean by testing. Sorry. Okay, so as far as the, yes, the BSD on every page, the same way you would have done, again, any type of header, you just go down and do BSD, and there you have it. Okay, typing Hebrew and then sticking in English, that's tricky, and because you have to go back and forth. If you have multiple languages, this is just off the cuff, so I don't want to spend too much time on this, and probably you're better off searching on Google. But if you have multiple languages, there's usually a shortcut, I think, on the bottom bar here that allows you to switch between languages, basically keyboards, and then you would rotate. But it is a little tricky. Okay, so whoever posted this up, if I'm going too fast, I hope this allowed you to catch up. If you do have any more questions, you know, put it in. I'm gonna now continue on, and I'll take a break. Probably we're gonna go for about I'd say another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and answer some more questions. Okay, where are we at? All right. So we got so this report is looking very nice. It's got a bunch of pages, got a lot of references, but now they asked me to also, I'm making statements, and they want me to bring proofs, and they want me to reference where am I mentioning, where am I getting this information? So I'll go to references. Now, if I insert a citation, okay, there we go. Okay, so let's say I mentioned a word, mentioned a phrase that I want to give credit to a source. So I'm going to click on Add New Source, and that will bring it up. Okay, so it's going to ask me the type of the source. I actually have some books here that I think are, you know, recommended anyway. I have a book, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Radical Candor. It's actually a really good book, good business book. It's written by Kim Scott. Okay, she's the author. The title of the book is How to Get What You Want by Saying, oh no, sorry, Radical Candor. That is the, oh, I didn't want to cut off the title. The phrase is how to get what you want by saying what you mean. I don't want to get any other ideas there. Okay, the year, I think it was, I don't know, 2017. The city, I think it's San Francisco. San Francisco. Publisher is, let's see, the publisher is Pan. And the medium is document. Let's say document, okay. And now it tags the name. Okay. Okay. So maybe, okay, as far as, hold on one second. Okay, so we'll move back to the cursor here. Okay, so here, this just saved a source, all right? So we'll put that in the system. Oh, so you see what it did? I'm gonna delete that because I wasn't ready for that. Okay. Manage sources. Okay, so you see, I actually already prepared a few sources. So we have Trying This Out by Moses, the Torah. We got Yehuda, the Navi. Okay, so we got the master list and we got the current list. So the master list, so I'm sorry, where did I go? So I have managed sources. So This is the all the sources that I have available in Word. So I may be using it for this document, I may be using it for something else. But just as I added Kim Scott and Radical Candor, I already have here a few other sources that I had entered earlier. Okay, so I'm gonna go now, I'm gonna add a source. So I'm gonna add insert citation, okay? And I'm gonna add a new source. No, sorry. I'm gonna insert citation and I'm gonna just click on Kim Scott. Okay, so here, which maybe you've seen this on documents, it has the name and it has in parentheses. So if I double click on that, I could edit the citation, edit the source, convert citation, update citation, and bibliography. So this is basically telling me the Scott this reference. Now hold on a second. Just bear with me. We're going to get to the punchline here. So now I'm going to go to manage sources. So I have Kim Scott in here, and I have these other sources which I want to make available in my current list because I'm going to be referencing all these documents. Okay, so now I'm going to go down to page here, the third page, number 3. And I'm going to insert another citation. And as you can see now, I have 4 citations that I could reference here. So this one, I'm going to do Maishi trying this out. So I get a little tag there. It's called Maishi. And now I'm going to go to page 4. I'm going to throw in a little citation here because here I'm referencing Yehuda, the Navi. I'd say we're pretty good with our citations. So now, I want to add another page break because I'm done with my citations. I have a bunch of references that I got going on here. Now I want to do I want to show a reference page, okay? But before I do that, I want to add a page break. So I want to add a page break. And now I have a new page. Let me zoom out a little bit. I will go back to layout, view, one page. Okay, so I'm back to the one page view. Okay, so now I'm on page 5 and I've made a bunch of references throughout my page. So now I will go back to references, click on the bibliography, and I will call these references and I will click on this and there you have it. It alphabetized all my references automatically to this page. So if someone were to read this and they see all my references, they'll come to the 5th page and they will then see the source for all my references in each one and the name of those references. So that is how you do references. I know it may have been a little fast. Okay, so just, yeah, how does it know where to add the citation is, it's where your mouse is. When your mouse is at a normal, at a spot, I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight the mouse a little bit now for a little bit. If let's say my let me turn off the formatting for a second. Okay, so you see the, sorry, so you see the flashing cursor there. So now when I enter insert citation, it will automatically go to that spot where my cursor is. So that is how it knows. That is how it knows where to enter its citation. Okay, so I think I'm done with citation. I hope you get the idea. You can play around with it. I want to move on now to, we'll go to a title page. Okay, so we have now a 5-page document, got some references. Okay, so now if you go on top, you go to insert. You click on the cover page and it's going to load there. So again, I don't know the types of versions or what version, what year you have. So I don't know how much is available to you. But as you can see on my screen, I have quite a lot of different standard title pages. So I'm just going to click on that, let it load up. And there you have it. Now I have my title page, and it already has preset text with a title. So I'm testing this out. Wait for it. Okay. And then let's see the date. Now to do you do the date, so you do 0. You could do, there's different ways to do it. You could do the 05. I think the more professional way is the May 06, May 6, 2020. The company name, Microsoft. Company address. Oops. That there we go. 123 Avenue. Okay, so there you have your cover page. So you got testing it out. You have your first page, and you have your document. Now, I'm just going to take a minute there, let people catch up. Oh, and thank you, Yeshua. Thank you. Don't forget to save. So we'll do that right now. Okay. So the shortcut to save is Control S, and then it brings up the save file. But I'll also show you, if you do File, Save, then it will bring you to Documents. I'm going to go to MS Office class. Okay, testing this out, doc. Okay, and also I want to, the save type is a Word document. The author, it's my name. Tags, title is testing this out because it has a title page. It's got everything marked. I press save. And now it's saved. This is the testing out doc. So now that I have all this, I want to have some sort of design. Where is it? Okay, so I want to create, maybe on the first page here, okay, you know what? Let me take a break for a second. I see there's a lot of questions coming up, but let me go through a few questions, and then I will get back to it. Let me just go back a little bit. Okay. Okay, I apologize if I'm going too fast. Sorry, I'll try to gauge it. So I have a little break now. If you could ask questions where you left off. Okay, so Bela, as far as why you had other sources, it's possible that it may have been added by other people. It could have been maybe Word picked it up. Maybe there's some sort of link there. Maybe it recognized certain documents on your folder that it recognized them as a source. That's the only thing I can think of, unless maybe someone else put them there. Okay, to move, yeah, Julie, to move your page numbers, it's just the selection when you're selecting the page number. If you go to Insert, Page Number, and then you could see top of page, you have the options. If you look at the picture, you can see where you want that page number. It's the left, the middle, the center, or the right. So that automatically will place that for you. Okay, so on the cover page, yes, there is that page break. The reason for that page break, it prevents exactly what you're mentioning, is that if I were to remove this page break, I'm still in the header. Okay, if I were to move this page break, it automatically brings up the next page. I don't want that to happen. I need that page break there to keep it as the cover page. So I'm just gonna go back to Insert, and I get a page break right there, and that will put it back on the page. Okay, so to get the title page, you just go to Insert. Up in the top left corner, you press Cover Page, and that by default brings you up to the front here. And that's how, and then you could pull up any, design it however you like. Okay, as far as to enter the title in the saving, because sometimes when you're searching for documents, there is a search function which is called, which searches for the title. That allows you to quickly sort, especially if you have a lot of documents, and if it doesn't default, you could control the titles and how you search for documents. That's why that would be important. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting that this is moving a little fast, so we're gonna take a little back. And I'll just go through a few of the steps one more time. I see we have some questions about the reference page, about adding a page, and about and also as far as just repeating this step. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and one second. Hold on a second. Want to view. Okay, so actually what I did here is I clicked a button, and I don't know on what versions, but it gives you a sidebar which gives you a little more visibility on your page. So to add a cover page, you go to Insert. The far left on this version is you have the cover page. Click on cover page, and here you have some built-in pages. You also have the option to remove current cover page. But we could go ahead and change the cover page to this, and as you will see, it actually kept my text that I typed up, and it changed the cover page. So that's how you get to the cover page. Okay, so for the page break on the cover page, what the page break does, it prevents more text from being written or being manipulated as a result of changes on that page. So I'll show you. Let me go back to my original cover page. So here I have my cover page, and it has a page break right here, okay? And the only reason why I see it is because I have the reference on. So let's look at it like this. It looks like a normal page, beautiful formatting, and I am now going to, I see my cursors in the middle page, I'm just going to delete. And all of a sudden now I have my document, my article on the cover page. I don't want that to happen because that doesn't belong on my cover page. My cover page needs to be by itself. So in order to prevent that, I go to Insert and I click on Page Break, and then I have now locked. So whatever I do here, it's not going to, so what I actually could do, I could even press Enter. Let me show you the format. So I could go beforehand and just go like this, and I could go delete like that, and nothing else is going to come up. But if I get rid of that delete page, and everything comes up, and every modification that I do messes up the whole document. So that is why it's important to have a page break. Okay. Okay. The ruler, yes, that is also something important. Let me turn off I'm going to move back to the mouse here. The ruler is actually very helpful. That is by View. That is by View. You have on top here, see Show. There's this little show here, which also addresses the navigation bar. So you click on ruler, and it removes it. Click it on, and there you have it. And what the ruler is showing you where your text boxes are, as well as where your margins are. So your text will not pass this line or go before this line. And the navigation pane, you just click on that, click on that. You also have grid lines, which it looks like we'll be using for the next course, just because this is perfect for if you want to put graphics, or if you have two pictures and you need to align them in the exact location or completely even, this allows you to do that. That's the grid lines. But again, these are all different views that are available. So we have the ruler, in and out, you got the navigation pane, and you have the grid lines. Okay, so I see there's a lot of questions about the page break on the header page. So when you're using, so maybe we could just create our own, and then, so how about let's go like this. I guess there's not the, so that page break is there automatically. It's built in. Technically, you could always make your own and just add a page break. So because it's already formatted by Word, it automatically puts that page break there, so it prevents all the formatting and the documentation from below to come up on the page break. That is why that format is already there. Now, as far as where you put the page break, wherever you want to end the page. So let's say, for example, I want to write a few more words. You know, here are a few more titles. And then I want, you know, that little, I don't know, it looks like a nose, actually, a nose with eyebrows. I want the page break to be right after that, because I can't start typing I can't start typing under the page break because the page ends there. So that is why you put the page break exactly where you want your document to end. Especially here, we did some modifications, and this page break has held up. It's created a whole new page over here. I'm just going to delete that. I'll bring it back up. And then here you have another page break at the end. So now someone asked about the references. So I'll go to the last page here. So now I have this last page. I have a page break in the last page. So I have my references that I mentioned in this article. So if I go to references and I click on the bibliography, now depending on what you want to refer them to as, you could do works cited, references, or bibliography. Let's say it's bibliography. It automatically organizes alphabetically all the references that you have in this document. So it's very easy. It keeps it very organized for you, and it's easy to reference that at the end of the it's very easy for you to reference all your points of reference in your document. Okay. So I know there's a lot of information here. I know that. So bear with me. I'm trying to balance between the moving forward and just the questions. I don't want anyone to get stuck. I know, yes, the recording will be available afterwards. Please give me feedback. You know, just in general, that I could continue to provide an educational course here for you. Let's see. Okay, so someone mentioned about the difference between the citations and the footnotes. By the way, so I mentioned, I think about the navigation pane. I think that's a setting on Zoom. So if that's on your Zoom setting, I believe, because as far as my screen share, I'm not sharing anything except for my screen in of itself. So it may be like a setting. I think there's a way to hide it. That you could just see the screen itself. I hope that helps. Okay, so when you're talking footnotes versus references, a footnote is just, you know, you make, it really depends on the type of document, but you know, in my industry, if you're mentioning, let's say, a statistic and say, you know, last year the sales, you know, our sales were up, or it says, you know, in research that more people are using a cell phone now because of the quarantine, and then at the bottom you'll just, you know, reference, you know, the article of where you saw it. Versus I think bibliography and citations, those are much more for professional documents where, you know, there's heavy research involved. It's not just a reference. They want to know the truth behind the source behind what you're quoting. I think it's more of just a professional and expectation as far as who this document is for. Okay, I saw a few things. Who, if you're registered for this class, you will get a recording afterwards. Okay, I know we touched upon a lot. I want to show another feature here, which it's called a review. So, you know, in general now we have a lot of collaborative tools, you know, where you have multiple people working on one document and keeping track of, you know, what everyone's doing. Word, you're able to do the same, but Word is not so much collaborative as it is more of, let's say you're editing a document, or let's say you have a policy that you want someone to review and get their feedback on, or a process that you want others to give some feedback and some suggestions on, but you don't want them to actually write or change anything in the document. You just want them to refer to something, and then everyone can see what has been mentioned. So we'll go to the review bar here, and we will click on new comment. Okay, so let me do that again. Delete. Okay, so again, we're gonna go to, say, the first page, page 1. I'm gonna go to review, and I'm click on the new comment. Now remember, where my cursor is where that comment is gonna pop up. Okay, so let's say I didn't, you know, let's say I didn't agree with this line here, whatever it means, and I'm gonna click on a new comment. So this document and this Microsoft Word is associated with me. So it tags my name, and I say, you know, please explain further. Okay, and then I'll go down the list here, and, you know, here I wasn't so, you know, this is a great point. And then maybe here, over here, I felt, you know, double check with, I don't know, Tom, if this is accurate. Okay, so I have my points. So these are the feedback that I'm giving to a document that I want the author or anyone who opens this document would be able to see these comments. And now I could, so if I could save it, and these are connected to the document, so if I were to close it, open it up, these would still be there. And now I have a response. Thank you. And that's it. So now if I open up this document again, that updated message will still be there. Now let's say I have resolved this issue. It's no longer a point. We'll just go ahead, resolve. Now it will always be there. So for point of reference, like, oh, I remember we had a discussion about this, and this is the conclusion we came to. So that will stay there. Now, obviously, you don't always have to be showing the comments. So the same place where you selected the review, we selected new comment, you just click the unshow comment, and therefore that sidebar is not there. However, if you notice, there's this little talking cloud, or whatever those are called, the talking clouds, comment cloud, and there you have it. That's a little note on the side, and lets me know that there's a comment on this line, and when I click on it, it automatically shows me to where it is referring. So if I wanted to highlight this whole paragraph, then I would say, you know, remove this, and then that's it. So when I click on here, I will see that it's referenced the entire. Okay, we're not gonna, okay. Okay, so will the side comments be there when it's printed? If you do show comments, then they will be there. However, if you just remove them, then they will not. This is a digital mark. So if I do Control P and look at, one second. Okay, hold on a second. Let me do. Hold on a second. Okay, it should not be. If I go, hold on. Oh, okay. So I stand corrected. The truth is, as long as there's documents, you would have to delete all the documents, because I see here that if I go to print, it has everything spelled out, which I don't want the documents. I just want to see here. Maybe there's an option here. Document info. So I would need to delete all the comments on the page, and then I would be able to then print without any comments. Okay, let me just go through if there's anything else. Okay, the truth is I pretty much covered the different tasks that I was looking to cover in this section. I think we're about open now for Q&A. If anyone wants to have questions, I know this was a little bit of a lot of information here, and listen, I'm here to help you. So I hope you get it, and please ask me questions, and I will answer them. So let me just start going through the Q&A here. Just a second. There's a lot of questions here. Hold on. Let me just scan through. Okay. So first, yes. As far as the free document, which I mentioned before, it is called, I think they're called Microsoft Productivity Apps, free productivity apps. They are easily accessible. They're only available online, and all you have to do is create a Microsoft account. You could go to Microsoft.com and just search productivity apps. I did ask, I believe Shua did send out an email with the link of how to access those programs. I did play around with it the other night. It's just a basic version, but it's Word. I mean, for a lot of the basic functions you will have access to, and it's a free version, so you don't have to pay for it. That is as far as the Word Excel. I'm sorry, that as far as the free productivity free productivity apps from Microsoft Word. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so I'm just sorry, I'm just catching up. Okay, so I have a question here. From I thought the page number header is separate from the title header. So yes, you could switch it. You could put the title header at the bottom, which yes, in many cases, you're right. You don't put the page number on top, you put it at the bottom. But that being said, you talk about the title. When you talk about headers, you go to design, you have this actually tab here, it's called document info. So you have a quick way to insert either the file name or the file path or the document title. And this is centered, that's why it's, so this will automatically populate the title of the page. And sorry if I, where? Okay, so then I would go here, top of the page, and I would move it over to, I would want it at the, let's say page margin. Oh, here's the header. So I would want to put the header over on the left. So there's the type header, and then I do my quick document info. So I will do document title, and there you have the document title, and it has the automatic typing there, but I entered my document title, and here I have the title of the document. And now what I want to do is add page numbers at the bottom. So I will do bottom of page, and I will, how about that one? And there you have bottom of the page. And it's right under my reference tabs. My bullet, the bullet notes at the bottom. And then I have my page numbers at the bottom and my title page or document title at top. Okay, the command for references. So the tab is references. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Perhaps, I'm still in the header, but if I insert a citation, then that automatically gets put in there by clicking on the references, and I have all my functions there to add that. Okay, so I see a lot of pages as far as references. Let me look here. Okay. Okay, so the footer is, you know, many times can be used as the page, or it's a static text or number or a static formula that is on the bottom of every single page. If you want to, maybe you have a website that you want to always reference at the bottom of the page, maybe a legal document that you need to mention something every single time at the bottom of the page, that's how you would leverage a footer. So regardless of what the content is in the document itself, the footer will always be there independently and say whatever it says throughout the document. Okay, so to bring a page number at the bottom, I'll just double click away. If I go to insert, sorry. Okay, go to insert, and I go to the page number here. I feel like I saw it somewhere else before. You go to page number here, and then you have the option of top of page, bottom of the page, and then you could also put things in the margin itself. But here's where you control where the numbers should be and what they look like. Okay, so I guess bullet notes are, this is just referencing if you want to give some sort of referral to a quote. Let's say maybe you quoted something and you want to just give context to what you were quoting. Or let's say you mentioned a statistic or an interesting idea, and you just wanted to let someone know where to find that idea, you'd put that at the bottom. Can you print the page without showing the comments but saving it? You know what? I'm gonna have to find that out, honestly, because it seems right now, as long as you have comments here, let's check this out. Can I print a document without comments? Okay, so let's see what it says. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Okay, so I will take it offline and look into if there's a way to print the document while still keeping the comments. Okay. All right. As far as my contact information, just please ask Shua. Shua could forward anything to me if you had specific questions. As far as personally, you could look me up on LinkedIn, Maishi Leeds, if you wanted to get a hold of me directly. How do you add paragraphs to the cover page? Technically speaking, the paragraph, the cover page is just like any other page, just a little fancier. So you could add any paragraphs you want. You could type whatever you want, and that will remain on that page. And then obviously wherever your page break is where that text is going to stop and go to the next page. Okay, how do I take off a comment? Okay, so so now let's say I do want to remove some comments. Sorry, oh, comment. Oh, okay, so let's go show comments, and let's say I insert a new comment here. Hi, okay, so that will be there. How do I delete it? so we can resolve it, so we know that's complete. But to delete it, you go up here and just click the delete button, and it is then removed. Oh, that only deleted. There we go. Now, because there were 2 responses there, that's how you delete or take off a comment. Second, Microsoft. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna give a I'm gonna go to the beginning here if the attendees are still here. Okay, so Bloma, I showed how to import that with that shortcut with Latin. That's where I've imported this stuff. Okay, the numbers fade because it's telling you it's not active in your document right now. Right now, what you're working on is this page. But if you double click on the top, the header and the footer, then automatically you'll notice that the main page is grayed out because that's not where your selections are going to happen. That's how you know what part of the page is being referenced. How do you number a reference? The references are automatically numbered. As you insert a here, so reference. So if I do, let's say if I insert another footnote here, insert footnote, it automatically gets numbered. I'll zoom in. It automatically gets numbered as 4. So this is the 4th reference. So do the references get connected if you change a line? Well, let's watch what happens. So if I take the 4th reference here, good question, copy and paste. No, I don't want to copy and paste. I want to just, oh, here, I want to drag it. So I'm going to drag the text to the next page and put that right here. And voila, yes, it did. The reference is connected to that word. So you see, I moved that reference to the next page and it followed along with it. Okay, so I think I did post. I did post the language. It's called Microsoft Productivity Apps. Is for the free version of the Office suite. I'm sorry, a lot of these questions I had already addressed, so I'm just dismissing them. So the sources correspond to the content in the document. I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying, but the source is where you put the source, and it's up to you where you're referencing and if it's applicable to reference that source in the document. So it just depends how you set up that source, and is it connected to the right source, and did you put it in the right place on the page? I mean, that's the way I would understand that question. Okay. Um, Someone's just asking how to get the recordings from the class. You should receive an email from Shua, and he will send it to you. Okay, so to reply to a comment, I don't know, I did mention something, but I guess I might as well go over it again. Just click reply, and you type, and then you click away, and then you can either edit it. If it was yours, since it's my comment, I could edit mine. But if it was someone else's, you wouldn't be able to. You'd just be able to reply and then type in whatever you'd like. Okay, the bubbles for comments, that's if I unclick the show comments right here by review. If I unclick it, so then it hides it, and it just shows me that there is a comment there, but it doesn't add space on the page. Okay. Okay. I'm happy. I'm happy for those who felt it was clear, and that's good. That's what I'm going for. But again, I know it's not easy when there's so many people in the class trying to balance everyone. But I hope everyone learned something and took away some value from this. Okay, so yeah, the footnotes I've mentioned a few times. Again, the navigation that is, one second. So if you go to view, navigation pane is a feature on Microsoft. So if you have here within the view, you have different types of layouts. And so here you have you have the ruler, and you have the navigation pane. So I'm not sure which version you have that would not allow you to do that. Okay, so I guess just the next class is we're going to do one more business document. I'll send out some. I sent out the preliminary to you. That will just go through how to use word art, and it'll be would be dealing with graphics in a Word document. I think that will be a little more fun, a little more colorful. But that would be the wrap for Microsoft Word. That's one more course, and then we will move on to Microsoft Publisher, which is a lot more exciting. That answers that. Yes, hi. Hi, back to you. So Yossi, as far as an iPad, yes, it's a little challenging. You have touchscreen, which is a whole different type of dynamic. But what I would suggest, if you do use an iPad, first of all, you'd have to download the version for Mac. And also, I would highly recommend to get a keyboard for your iPad. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm getting a lot of questions about the Microsoft app. So I'll just go to it. It's called Microsoft. Go to Microsoft.com. And I download, I type in apps. Productivity apps. So I'm just pulling it up here. Where is it? I know it's almost like they hide it. Oh, come on. Sorry, my computer's running a little low, a little slow now. Where is it? Sorry. So I guess maybe they don't. They make it so hard to find, which I find it a little funny, but I did find it. Hold on a second. Let me see what else we got. So Beryl, as far as mailing and like mail merges, officially that's not on this course. However, I think maybe we could get some feedback on what else you guys want to cover, and we could definitely touch base on that, because I know that is very helpful. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna find this. Where is it? Microsoft products. CL Home. Let's see what else we have. Okay. So I think it's pretty much a wrap. I don't know if anyone else has any questions, or I haven't touched upon anything. I know Latin. That was just a word fill. Just to give context, so you're not looking at a blank screen. That's why I like to use that. But moving forward, I will have its own, have real text. 1 second, Premium Office apps. Here, where is it? Question is internet? No, where is it? Expand all. Here, there we go. I found it. I guess, let me post. Okay, I just sent you the link for okay, I think that's a wrap. Let's see how many people. We still have 50 participants here. I think if that is anything else. Okay, so I see there's a lot more. I mean, the focus of this class really is just to get your feet wet and just get exposed to the power of Microsoft Word. I would imagine, being that this is just the beginners, I would imagine we could work something out with Shua, either to expand maybe this class a little bit, or maybe just have a new class which has a little more advanced skills to it. Otherwise, I'd say this is a wrap. I really appreciate your feedback. Thank you for participating in this. Let's go back. That's the fake letter. Okay, so I hope you learned something with this. I know this one was a little slower class just because it was a lot of information, a lot of actions, but I hope you learned something. I hope you'll now feel more confident or know how to make a nice professional looking document. And I guess that's a wrap for now. Looking forward to next class next Monday night at 8. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to get a little more, it's going to be a little more exciting with word art and a little more fancy manipulations of the document. And that will also conclude our Word portion, and then we'll move on to PowerPoint. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I hope everyone is well. Families are well. And all the best. So I see people raising hands. I don't know if not in this current I don't know how to raise. I see you. I'll raise back. Okay, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I wish everyone well, and yes, looking forward to the next class. Take care.